Good morning, my dears. How's life treating you? Huh? Does life treat us, or what is it? Or do we treat ourselves? Or how do we treat ourselves? How do we get along with ourselves? Anyway, lots of questions today. We may look at this subject that I think we all can identify with. As Yogananda said once, that that suffering is the prod. Suffering is the prod to the remembrance of God. Yeah, it's a prod, right? If everything is just running peachy keen for us, we can just continue in our crazy ways because there's nothing that is going to get our attention as much as possibly this idea of pain. So we're going to look at that a little bit, but before, let's look at a powerful quote from Yogananda that is just something that I don't think we want to forget. I mean, even better than that, maybe we want to put it into some kind of a daily practice because it to remember this would take care of everything that we could talk about today. If we remember these words from Yogananda, he says, the unchangeable, the unchangeable immortal soul is hidden behind the screen of your consciousness. All right, I know you've heard things like this before. The unchangeable, unchangeable, meaning there's no flux. There's no like one day it's in a good mood and the next day it's not. It's unchangeable. The unchangeable immortal soul is hidden behind the screen. There's a screen. You ever want to get your screens cleaned? It's hidden. The immortal soul is hidden behind the screen of our own consciousness or our own awareness. Good morning, Lori. Thanks for coming on. Honestly, all the things in the world that you could be doing, Lisa and Jim could be doing, Kathleen could be doing, and I could be doing that. But here we are. Here we are to imbibe whatever it is that the divine can, help us and bless us and maybe use a little amazing grace so that we get an understanding this morning that just puts us in a whole frame set or mindset today that just puts us closer to God than ever before. How's that sound? Closer to ourselves than ever before. But let's finish this quote that I'm saying that Yogananda says the unchangeable immortal soul is hidden behind the screen of our consciousness. Lift the veil of elusive change. Enthrone your fickle consciousness on the changelessness, which is the throne of God, of fickle consciousness. Let your soul manifest bliss night and day. There you go. Let's read it again. Wow. Spectacular. The unchangeable immortal soul is hidden behind the screen of our consciousness. Lift the veil of elusive change and be established in your mortal nature. Enthrone your fickle consciousness on the changelessness and calmness within you, which is the throne of God. Let your soul manifest bliss night and day. I'm going to wait and read it, let it come up again, and we'll read it once more. I know it's a lot. The unchangeable immortal soul is hidden behind the screen of our consciousness. Lift the veil of elusive change and be established in your immortal nature. Enthrone your fickle consciousness on the changelessness and calmness within you, which is the throne of God. And let your soul bliss manifest night and day. Let your soul bliss manifest night and day. Your soul manifest night and day. Let it manifest bliss night and day. Wow. So, would you say you're special? Would you say that you are beyond the human scope of what understanding or realization is, right? Are we missing something really important here in our life? Well, let's see how pain can be a prod to the remembrance of the divine, that we are on this unchangeable consciousness, that behind the screen of our consciousness, there's the throne of God. So let's see how we can get some understanding looking at this idea that pain, my dear, is a teacher. When things don't go right in our lives, it's a good teacher, right? When we have an upset and we're not really into the mood for having upset, but we have it anyway. What a teacher's that, right? We could come up with a pretty good list ourselves, I think, about the things that get us upset, the things that get us in a mood, and we don't even know why or how. It just comes upon us, right? A change of heart, or maybe, and so on and so forth. But let's just see if we can understand this: that pain is not always punishment. That pain is not because we've done something wrong. The pain is not there because we're just out of tune, out of touch, right? Or we didn't do our meditation right, or something like that. It's not always that, my dears. Sometimes pain is the part of life that finally tells the truth. All right. It's another way to look at it. Finally, there's some truth to be had here, right? And could it be this word called pain? Sometimes pain is the part of life that finally tells the truth. It shows us where we were and are attached. Who isn't attached? Being in a physical body, you know, drugged over with the Maya delusion, right? In the poppy fields, completely drunk, and expect that we're going to figure this thing out on our own, huh? And to get, well, anyway, pain's going to help us find out where we're attached, all right? Right? Look at that. Pain will show us where we are attached. I think that makes sense to all of us. And where we are pretending as well, what we're holding in, what we're too afraid to say, or whatever it is, my dears. Not to say that there's anything wrong here. This is just life. This is just life. Where we were pretending, where we were giving too much. Maybe pain pops up then because we're exhausted, you know? We're thinking about others all the time. We're thinking about why they said this, why they said that, whatever, right? So we can lose energy that way. We can feel pain that way. And where we were abandoning ourselves just to keep peace with people who were never at peace with themselves. So we get, we have friends, we have, you know, work associates, we have, different things that people, aren't quite at peace with themselves. But we get lost in that. We get lost in that attachment and then lose our cool, you know. This is all about, like that quote of Yogananda, we are unchanging. We are unchanging. Bliss, night and day. We are that which is infinite. We are that which cannot be destroyed or hurt or put in the fire and burnt forever. No. So what about this abandoning ourselves just to keep peace with people who are never at peace with themselves? That could cause a little pain, you think, my dears? Only to prod us to the remembrance that we are this unchangeable consciousness, that the throne of God is just behind the screen of our consciousness, and that bliss is happening through us, that God is pouring through us. It's a downpour today, my dears. It's a downpour. Like the light and the love and the presence is downpouring into us, even though it's been dry as can be here where we're living, right? Maybe the same for you. So pain I think we all can agree with this. Pain breaks the illusion, right? Because you realize that you're not indestructible. That how you're feeling today ain't going to necessarily mean that's how you're going to be tomorrow or how you were yesterday, right? Or in your coming weeks, if you have those months, maybe a few years more, a lot of years more, right? The pain breaks the illusion that we are temporary. Everything in life is temporary. It comes and it goes. And there's nothing that we can do about that except chill, baby. Meaning just become that unchangeable you. Just chill. And how about a little surrender added onto that? How about more trust and faith in the divine indweller that we talk so much about, and God's presence with us as we share these words today, and just kind of understand a little bit more how pain is a prod to the remembrance of God. So it breaks the illusion not because it hates you, because something inside you is ready to wake up. Pain is maybe a remembrance of that we're waking up, that we understand the temporariness of life, that we understand that we don't have tomorrow. If you have tomorrow, it's the greatest delusion, said the Lord Buddha, is to think that you have tomorrow, my dears. We only have this present moment, as you know. We only have this little tribe for, another 15 minutes or so, or I'll go over. So we'll add an extra couple minutes to our stream probably this morning. Things go by pretty quick because something, though, that pain does help us to understand is that maybe we're ready to wake up, right? So we can get out of the pain, or we can deal with the pain, right? Or we can, whatever we need to do to survive the pain or thrive in the pain. Any way you want to look at it. We spend so much of life avoiding discomfort, right? A lot of us. I know our dogs know all about that. Take their magical pillow or little donut things they lay on, away, and they'll look at you and go, "Whoa, where's my pillow?" We spend so much of our life avoiding discomfort, but discomfort we can look at is often where the soul begins speaking louder than the ego. Discomfort. See how it reminds you? And it's just etched into the fabric of life, isn't it? This idea that we seek comfort, we seek that, maybe the easiest way out, or in this case, the easiest way in. Once we start to wake up, then we're looking for the easiest way in to ourselves, where we can just chill in that changelessness. We can chill in that bliss that's happening night and day. That bliss that's pouring through us, the downpour. It's always downpouring, my dears. Pain teaches what comfort never could. Comfort could never teach you these lessons that we're kind of looking at this morning about pain. Pain teaches what comfort could not. Comfort can make you sleep, but pain makes you look. Comfort can make you sleep. Look at that any way you want to. But pain makes you look. How many of you call the doctor immediately when you feel a little something like that, right? You got your whole lineup of helpers, alternatives to, getting out of that pain as soon as you can. Pain makes you question everything. Why did I accept that? Why did I betray myself? Why did I stay so long? Why did I need their love more than my own truth? It makes us question things, right? Because we start to want to find a reason for the pain. And why, so we might start a blame and shame game with ourselves, right? So why did I need their love more than my own truth? And that is where the transformation begins, my dears. This transformative alchemy of changing pain into a prod to the remembrance of God. Why do we need to have the fix more than we need our own truth, right? So the transformation begins not when life is easy, as you all know. You're no stranger to all this, my dears. You're no newbie. You're no newbie at this. You're not a new soul. You're an ancient, infinite consciousness. Always have been, always will. Pain removes the mask pretty good, doesn't it? And it shows us who is real, right? With the real Laurie, please stand up. Lisa, Jim, please stand up. Kathleen, Tom, please stand up with the real us. Stand up. Pain removes the mask. It shows us who is real. It shows you who only you who it shows you who only love the version of you they could control. It shows you who only love the version of you they could control. So that has to do with a relationship, right? It shows you the wounds you kept decorating instead of healing. And yes, pain can be brutal. It can humble you. That's not a bad thing. I think humility is probably one of the greatest virtues that we can have is humility. Like the Yogananda said that the in the valley of humbleness that the rains will gather, you know, but in the mountaintops of pride they can't. So humility, let's be humble and let's just let the downpour in, my dears. Let all this good that each of you are, let it in. That's a beautiful thought for today. Let what is. Accept, embrace, and love what is. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's broken. You are who you are in the outer sense, right? As a human, but you are who you are as a divine being, changeless divine being in bliss night and day. Wow. It's just this, you know, I think it's in the so-called effort that we make in this spiritual life. That's everything. And God's watching the heart all the time, right? So be real. Be real with the struggles, my dears. Be real that God knows and exactly where you stand with things, how you think, how you feel. Just, maybe it's a prod to the remembrance that the divine is that we're covered. We're covered. We're covered. We're blanketed. We're never alone. We have so much eternal help because that's a long time to be in the bliss night and day, isn't it? Isn't that a good thought? So let's see what else is. Yeah, it can humble us. Then the next thing it says here, it can humble us and it can bring us to our knees. The suffering, the pain, the discomfort can bring us to our knees, my dears. But sometimes the knees are where the ego finally stops pretending to be God. Huh? Pretty nice line. Pretty nice thought, isn't it? Sometimes the knees, when we get down on our knees, Abraham Lincoln's favorite quote, I get down on my knees just to be able to deal with this administration. And I pray to the only one who is my friend. Yeah. So sometimes the knees are where the ego finally stops pretending to be God. And sometimes pain is the doorway back to the soul. Just sometimes. We might say all the time it's a doorway back to our soul, right? Nobody wants pain. Nobody would do things to get pain. They do things that bring pain, but they wouldn't just go out and just make life miserable for themselves. For the most part, wouldn't you say that practically nobody would want to do that? So pain can be a doorway back to our soul because after pain, after you take the Advil, after the pain, you begin to see differently, right? As long as we don't forget, what about all those lepers that came to ask God, that asked Christ to heal them, and only one, and he did, and only one came back to say thank you. We have a painful stretch in our day, maybe. The back that is kind of like right at that point, maybe at your back is sore, and it's at that point where today it's really sore, right? We have a stretch like that going on today. We begin to see differently. The day is different, isn't it? Our attitude's different. After the pain, so let's say it feels better and it goes away. You take that Advil if you do that kind of stuff, right? And you feel better. And you begin to see differently. And you have a little wisdom to boot. You stop chasing the noise. You stop chasing because it's just better to maybe have a little more time with the divine, let's say, a little more time with, letting the pain just kind of exist within you, but you do your very, very best just to not make a big friggin' deal about it. However we go about it, my dears, we're all different. I'm a biggest baby in the universe when it comes to that. All right. So you stop begging for love. You stop chasing noise. After the pain, you begin to see differently. You stop chasing pain or stop chasing noise. You stop begging for love. You stop needing everyone to understand your path. Yeah. You stop confusing chaos with passion, chaos with passion. You stop confusing attachment with connection. You stop confusing survival with peace. All these things, we stop confusing survival with peace. Pain teaches discernment, my dears. Look at all this wisdom that we're gaining here. Just this idea of looking at pain today. Pain teaches discernment. Pain teaches boundaries. Pain teaches presence. I think that's the most important one. Pain teaches presence. That we have something to go to. We have the greatest medicine in the world, my dears. We have the desire for a better life, for a higher consciousness. We are doing the best we can, right? We're steady eddies like we are here on this line. Lori, Lisa, Kathleen, we're steady, although not not all the time. We're a small little group, but we're steady, right? Pain teaches presence. That's a good one to remember today. This presence that is night and day bliss in you. The bliss of God's presence in you, night and day, night and day. Pain teaches you that not everyone who walks with you is walking for you. All right. Pain teaches you that losing something can sometimes be the way your soul saves you. Wow. Wow. Pain teaches you that losing something can sometimes be the way your soul saves you. Remember that God isn't out to give us pain. This delusion was created for one reason, that we wake up from it, that we look deeper, we look inside. We don't, do you want the baubles, the playthings? Do you want as Yogananda says, do you want my playthings or do you want me? Right? I think this all comes down to that. What do you want? What are you seeking after? What is your real purpose? What is your real purpose on a moment to moment basis, on a breath to breath basis? What is your purpose? Why am I doing this? Say, or what George Bernard Shaw was shaving one day, and his son came up to him and said, "Dad, why do you shave?" And he just stopped for a moment, stopped shaving, put the razor down, never shaved again. So we just might come to a, having a little truth to truth with ourselves, you know, just being real with ourselves. And that pain teaches us that losing something can sometimes be the way our soul saves us. Man, woman, strong, strong words. So the greatest teacher, though, is not the pain itself. It's not the pain itself, the greatest teacher. You know what it is? It's what pain reveals, what it reveals to us. It reveals the places where we forgot our worth. We forgot to be kind. We forgot to be self loving, self forgiving, self compassionate, self surrendered, right? That's the teaching. That's the teaching that we have forgotten to take care of numero one, man and woman, which is ourselves, this soul self, the one that's just behind the screen of our consciousness right now. Wow. Wow, that's powerful. It reveals the places where we forgot our worth. It reveals the patterns your nervous system called normal. When you're all jittery, nervous, fearful, scared. Yeah, that's a famous quote. Pain is necessary. Perfect. Suffering is optional. Powerful, Lise. Thank you for that. Perfect. It is what the pain reveals. It reveals the places where we forgot our worth. It reveals the patterns our nervous system called normal. It reveals the people your wounded self chose. It reveals the people your wounded self chose. It reveals the truth your higher self already knew. Pain is not here to destroy us, obviously, my dears. It is here to return us, okay? Back to our body, back to our main responsibility, our ability to respond to how we're feeling, what we're thinking, what we're desiring, and so on. It's back to the body, and it's back to the heart, right? It's back to our soul power. It's back to God. And back to the version of you and me that no longer needs suffering to remember who we are. We don't need to get hit over the head with the 2x4. There's a saying that Divine Mother whispers in our ears when we have a little, a moment of truth, we're looking at choices in life. She says she whispers to you the right way to go. And if you don't hear her, says it a little louder in your conscience, right? She says it a little louder. And if you don't listen to her when she's a little louder, she kind of yells. She kind of yells and says, "Hey, listen up here. Listen to me." And then if you still can't follow that guidance, she hits you over the head with the 2x4. Divine Mother's got to get our attention somehow, my dears. So we're back to the version of us that no longer needs suffering to remember who we are. All right. So do not worship pain, though, my dears. Obviously, don't worship pain. Do not stay in it. Do not make it your identity, but do listen to it and do learn from it and let it burn away the false. Let it put you on a roll, on a divine roll, back to the one, back to this, what is behind the screen of your consciousness, back to the dweller, the dwelling, like we talked about yesterday, that inner divine indweller, and we go inside to the source of us that's unchangeable. That is the throne of God, right? The dwelling place. Yeah, that's kind of what we're getting to, and almost ready to end this stream. We want to listen to it. We don't want to make it our identity. We want to learn from it. We let it burn away the false. We let it sharpen our wisdom. Nice. And we let it open the heart without, we let that pain open the heart, but we don't let it harden the soul. Because one day, my dears, Lori, Lisa, Kathleen, one of these days we're going to look back and realize the pain did not come to end us. It came to initiate. These are initiation times, my dears. We're all initiates. It came to initiate you. And the wound, the hurt, the pain, the suffering, and many other ways, it has come to us, the pain, because it's the greatest doorway. It's the fastest way. It's the greatest prod, as Yogananda puts it. That suffering is the greatest prod to the remembrance of God. All right. So there we have it, my dears. Thank you so much for listening and sharing your light with us here. Unspoken, no words said, but felt. Thank you so much. I can feel the love. I can feel the love coming out of you because that's what we do. Thank you so much again. I hope this was worth your time today, my dears, and gave you a little more awareness of how special you are. So take care of that special, okay? Let's ask the Om to take care of any kind of pain spots, right? Those ouchies. Let's let the Om come in and take care of it for us. Inhale the breath. Let's go once more for all our suffering brothers and sisters on this planet and everyone that just, doesn't have like what we have here. We're so blessed that we can just do these remembrance practices, right? Just coming back, coming back, coming back to what is real. One more Om. Om. Thank you, everybody. And let's just let make sure our divine armor is all ready to go here. We have the love. We start and we continue and we end with love. So we love, and that brings so much care, so much forgiveness, so much compassion, right? And again, it's all towards the self first, just so that we make sure that we are it, so that we can know that someone else can be that too. And then we shine. We shine. And as we said yesterday, that when you give that love and light to someone or wish it on someone, it comes into you first. It comes so that I was motivated like heck. I was loving the birds, the bees, the the landscape, the people and cars, whatever. I was just sitting in because I knew it was coming to me. So we got a lot of wisdom and discernment going on, my dear. So thank you for that. And may you have a big old honking breakthrough today, whatever that means for you. All right. All right. Much love, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for the hearts. Yeah. Thanks for the hearts. I love hearts. I love hearts. All right. Thank you, my dears. And much, 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 much relief from the grief. Love you. Aho.